Oh wow, that is a lot of body roll. Hey there, fellows. We have prepared such a fun experiment for this video. You might recognize this car, which has been with us for quite a long time now. Now, the idea is actually pretty simple. So I've been going through some old magazines and I noticed something rather interesting in there. Turns out that car manufacturers, and it's not just them either, turns out that motorcycle manufacturers have also tried making a car with just 3 wheels. And if I'm not mistaken, but then again that I looked into fairly recently. You see, there's a motorcycle plant in Serpukhov, Russia, and I think somewhere in the 1950s they made an attempt to build a motorized sidecar. What's curious is that it's always a different design. Some mounted the wheel up front, others would have the single wheel in the back. As for the idea we're pondering, we want to take a classic rear-wheel drive Lada and convert it into a 3-wheeler with 1 wheel in the back. We just need to find the right wheel, because I do think that using a regular-sized wheel is going to be pretty boring. Instead, we'll try something that would be considered oversized for a Lada, so not a 13, 14, or 15. I don't know how big it'll be exactly, but it's going to be big. So we place it back here, make it the drive wheel, and drive around on just the 1 wheel. Now, it's most probably going to be something really heavy, but that also means plenty of weight pushing down on the contact patch, and consequently a lot of traction. Hey, it's an experiment. Let's make us a 3-wheeled Lada. We might even leave some of the rear axle be, though we're not gonna know if we even can until we start piecing this together. Okay, let's make us a 3-wheeled Lada, and keep the look as close as we can to stock. Let's do this. Fellas, big thanks for taking so many pictures with our merch. You want some drip like this for yourself? Then check out our latest collection of merch. We've got some trendy hoodies, some toasty vests, stylish hats and t-shirts, baseball caps to suit anybody's taste, mugs, stickers, and of course some goodies for your cars. Air fresheners, license plate frames, document holders, key fobs. Hit the link in the description to get yourself some Garage54 goodness. Get yourself some merch and don't forget to use the code Garage54, which is good for a solid discount. We make a Lada trike and go for a drive, translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Alright, so we've been at this for a couple of days, and this is what we end up with. Let's discuss the wheel first. Now, while we were doing the welding, the boys reckoned that there wouldn't be any grip and offered to riddle the tire with screws. So we took some roofing screws, stuck them in there, and the hats are going to act as studs. And that's good. As for the wheel itself, that we plucked from that car we had with the centipede drive, aka the 14-wheeled monster Lada. It's originally for a Gaz 66, we've got everything measured up. And so... Now when we were putting together the 14-wheeler, we welded in some Volga centerpieces. Or were they from an UAZ? If you watch that video, you'll see how we welded those in. We cut the centerpieces out. We did the best job we could with getting it all centered. And if on that car everything was perfectly fine, after fitting it to this one, we noticed that we have a slight wobble. Whatever. We're just gonna leave it as it is. And well, since the wheel is much more massive than what a Lada has stock, that means we already had the same problem on the PAS bus. In that the factory differential working in conjunction with this sort of tire is going to seriously overstress the engine. This big a wheel is going to be way more difficult to get spinning. And that's why we are running 3 diffs. They're leftovers from the wagon that did a wheelie at idle. So we took its quad diff assembly and just removed one. Then we topped that off with a uni joint. And the results are looking pretty amazing. Now we're not quite done yet. For example, this last diff requires a bit of extra support given that it's going to be twisted. Also, the axle shaft we're running is quite long. So we thought it'd be a good idea to add 4 more braces like this one to take a bit of load off of it. To make life a bit easier for the axle shaft. We'd rather the bearing inside the diff take the load. After all, it was designed for it. Well, I mean, not really. But at the very least, it's a ball bearing. It's durable, so it'll get through hell and stay alive. Yeah, so we add those braces, some extra support, and also tie the differentials to each other to keep them from moving around. And then, it's off to the races. So you guys sit tight for a tiny bit, and then you can watch us drive. Let's do this. Oh wait, not yet. Vlad, fire the car up. It's loud when it runs, but I want to show you how fast it rotates when the car is in first gear. Put it into first. So that's first, and it is slowly rotating, despite the revs being quite high. Give me second. And that is second gear. This should be a comfortable speed for us to drive at. Third gear. Oh yeah, third gear should be a ton of fun. Okay, 30 seconds and let's head out. Let's do this. Oh wow, that is a lot of body roll. Well, at least now I'm outside. Now we begin the testing. We're gonna be taking it easy at first, but like, I'm already scared to drive over the ruts with how this thing leans. There's a ton of body roll. It immediately reminds you of, what's that cobra called again? Right, Indian cobra. Alright, let's go. Holy cow. That's second. One of the differentials is whining. It's making a ton of noise. You know what? It looks like... I think it's the one that's sitting upside down that's doing that. But alright, it's not a huge problem. The ride comfort is actually good, considering that the front suspension is all we have. It feels really floaty, this thing. It's like you're riding in a boat with how soft it is. Sweet. How is it gonna handle the bumps? Whoa, where are you going? I'm still not used to its enormous body roll. That said, it does make it a fun experience. Man, the sensation you get from this thing... it's not the best. Just because it's very unusual. Let's see if the brakes work. They do, nice. I could probably just set off in third. Yeah, easily. Oh wow, what? That makes you want to shift your entire body weight to the other side. Hey, this is a ton of fun. We even brought the ride height up as much as we could to make this an even more sort of... unusual experience. Okay, there we go. Now driving in between the cars is going to be pretty nerve-wracking. I'm sitting on the left myself, and I can't help but worry that the car will fall onto its left side. Oh, and the road up ahead is terrible. Well, I guess that means we'll be doing some off-road testing. So far, so good. This is where the gnarly stuff begins. Let me grab a lower gear. If I fall into a garage, that's not going to be a problem. But if I hit a car, that'll be unfortunate. It's not as frightening when it leans to the right compared to when it leans left. Nah, this is terrific. I guess it's just a matter of getting used to that extra lean. I'm sure you can fix that by fitting a set of stiffer springs. But man, this is hilarious. Going uphill? How is it gonna fare? Pretty well. I'm having no trouble at all with all of the studs we stuck in. Out of my way, I'm the one going uphill. There we are. So right now I'm driving between the grooves, while the rear wheel is riding in the groove. Oh yeah. We are doing well. The speedo is showing me 90 Ks, but whatever. It is really moving. 120 Ks on the speedo, not bad. Honestly, driving on a smooth road is boring. This isn't doing it for me. Now let's turn off and go find some rough terrain. You quickly get used to the floaty sensation of this thing. You simply stop caring, realizing that most of the weight is up front. I guess you can turn it onto its side. but it won't be easy. I thought that I'd make it through with a run-up. Nope, there's not enough weight in the back. Yeah, I'm stuck. Yeah, there's not enough weight pushing down on the back wheel. We need to load it up to increase the traction. I'd also like to point out that the 66 wheel in the back has no air in it. We don't even have a tire valve in there, but even in this sort of condition, it's still able to carry the weight. And that's what we got, fellas, a car. I don't even know what to call it, honestly. A Lada trike? It's not really that, though, and it's not a sidecar. Maybe you guys could think of a good name for it? Anyway, so where does this leave us? Well, I just want to say it again. This car has a really nice ride. Look at how the car wallows. Now, this kind of suspension, despite even the fact that we've got everything in here hard-mounted, remember I said the tire doesn't have any air in it? Even so, the rubber itself is so thick that it doesn't even need to be inflated, especially with that light rear end. So apparently that also adds to the ride comfort, despite this literally being welded on. So at the end of the day, we've made a car with sublime ride comfort. If any of you guys have a Lada, you should definitely try this out. This is the best. I wasn't expecting the differential setup to slow the car down so much, though. Honestly, I was itching to give the car some beans. I mean, you get so used to how it rolls and leans that at some point you really want to dial the pace up. But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, I really enjoyed this, and hopefully you guys did too. What to do next? Well, we'll definitely keep it like this for now. Perhaps you've got some ideas? I have one. And I think I know what you guys might suggest. But we'll wait until the comments come in. And that's all I have for you. Watch us, subscribe, send in your suggestions, comment, give us a big thumbs up. All right, catch you later. Want to give it a push? We still gotta push it into the garage. It is a bit roughed up, but no worries.